Relationships are supposed to show you your shadows. Relationships are like a mirror into something that you do not want to see.
So let's talk about conflicts in relationship.
Right.
And like you said, perfect relationship doesn't exist, which means there's conflict in every relationship.
Yes.
And the only difference is how couples handle conflicts, right?
Right.
So is there a framework or maybe a sort of or perspective that you want to share on how people can sort of deal with conflicts? Is there a prerequisite in any relationship that needs to go in when they are setting the foundation of relationship to make sure that whenever there is conflict that arises, that this is how we are going to deal, or like how do people deal?
Yeah. So everybody now again has different ways of dealing with conflict, right? But regardless of, now we are not like, into the conversation that how two different people are different. But I'm talking about a general framework of how conflicts look like in a relationship. Okay? The major reason why a conflict would occur in a relationship is because relationships are supposed to show you your shadows. Relationships are like a mirror into something that you do not want to see, because relationships are so close-knit. Relationships are so personal, so intimate.
Yeah.
The more you give, the more you can also see
Yourself.
right? And it really triggers people.
Yeah.
It really triggers you because everybody else who you're not in a relationship with, maybe it's like acquaintances, colleagues, family, they would maintain that one single distance where they would know that I'll not cross this line, and they will also not cross that line. It's kind of like, okay, this is your life, that is my life. What happens that in a relationship, that line gets blurred. Values, goals, ethics, lifestyle, everything starts getting merged. Right? One big element that goes missing, and a lot of people have irreparable conflicts that lead to separation, breakups, is loss of respect. Why do such conflicts not happen with friends and colleagues on a day-to-day level? Because an unspoken level of respect and a boundary exists. So very important first to have some boundaries in your relationship.
How do you set that?
We set that by boundaries are what? Boundaries are basically things that you're comfortable in. You would just be, I have marked an area, and in this area I'm comfortable. I would think twice if somebody tries to snatch that comfort from me. Right? So that is a boundary. You set your boundary like you do not want somebody to talk to you in a very loud voice, right? And it can be your partner. Boundaries are applicable to any kind of relationships, okay? So you can go simply like, saying you're in the middle of a heated argument. Now, heated does not necessarily mean everybody who's listening or watching, the moment I say heated will have a different, vision of what a heated looks like for them.
Loud.
What a heated looks like, for me as a person who would understand relationships would be that heated means that I am being shown something or I am being told something that I do not want to hear. I am reacting. It's a very reactive fight. Okay? So we are not responding. I'll come to that what's the difference there. But now I'm reacting and the other person is also reacting, and I'm not being able to stop myself to say something. The other person shouts at me. So what will I say is, if you raise your voice at me one more time, this conversation is over and we'll have to find another time to do this conversation, because I'm not going to indulge with a conversation with you when you're raising your voice at me. I am not stating that, oh my God, why are you so loud? Are you stupid? Which is the initial reaction that a lot of people will give. Be like, why are you shouting? Are you stupid? Are you this? Are you that? Name calling, abuse happens immediately because we are being reactive. Reaction is what? There is an external stimulus, we react. We do not think. Reaction is without thinking. When conflicts happen, this happens a lot. That everybody says, like both parties are saying things without even thinking. They are just trying to, what is raising your voice? Raising your voice is just like, I am more powerful. I am towering over you now. So it's that kind of an attitude, right?
Shut down,
Yeah, it's animalistic almost. But we as humans, we are different, na? We have to take 2 moments. If I'm shouting, why am I shouting though? Do people ever think that way? No, because all they want to do is, I'm more powerful, I'm more powerful. If you are so powerful, then it should be okay. Why are you guys fighting? Fighting also has this underlying thing that we love each other. I want you guys to understand me. There's a bid for connection there, you know. But there's huge disparity that people want to be powerful also, people want to be vulnerable also. You have to choose one first, do that, and then conquer the second thing. You can't do both at the same time. But respect, boundary, respond instead of react in a conflict really helps. One tip that I'll give you, which changed my life, I want to give it out to everyone who's listening, in terms of conflicts, is to implement I statements. Okay? Imagine, I'll give you another example now. I come home and my partner has left all the dishes in the sink from last night. In my head, I was expecting that, oh my God, when I enter the kitchen will be spick and span. So my expectations have gone for a toss now.
Yeah.
So I get triggered. First of all, let's understand my thought process. I got triggered because I thought that he will do it.
My expectation was
And
not
these
met,
are unspoken expectations, right? That I'm already feeling that this is what they should do. But who are these they? What is the should? Right? First that. Secondly, I go to the other room and I blast out at him, that I thought, the kitchen is always unclean. You are such a dirty person, right? You are like, so careless. You are, I'm so irritated. All of this, we go into this, dialogue. And of course, the other person will get defensive. Be like, you do that every day, that's fine. One day I kept it because I was working, I had a meeting, I had this, I had that. You are stupid, you are crazy, you are dirty. And the relationship, like that vulnerability and intimacy at that point of time would totally go to a toss, right? It's only conflict. And some people have the ability to, actually take this conflict and make it into like a month-long conflict of that.
A
right?
lot of people do that,
Yes. So now what I want you guys to do, and I'm pretty sure everybody has faced this kind of a scenario. It's bad. Yes, I feel sad for you that the kitchen is not clean. Okay? First, yes, it is bad. Secondly, I know it's hard to, do cleaning dishes at 8 o'clock in the night after you're tired, after a long 12-hour shift. Understood? Sit down, pour yourself a glass of water, see what your partner is doing, and tell him or her or them or whoever, right, that I feel very anxious if the dishes are left in the sink overnight. I feel it's hygienically, not very good. There might be, other stuff or whatever your concerns are and whatever you feel like, is bad in that entire thing. But you know what I did here? I took it all upon myself that I feel anxious. I am not name calling or charging the other person. You tell them. And this works leaps and bounds, I'm telling you.
Beautiful, yeah.
I statements. You versus I statements. Instead of saying you, just start your sentence. And if you can't, think how you can tweak your you to an I. What will you say? Because that way you are being vulnerable and you are also naming your own emotions in that process. That why do I get so jittered or frustrated when I see, plates in the sink?
Yeah.
And your partner will listen to you. Any person, if you charge at them, they'll get defensive. You will have to also communicate in a way with patience and respect, right? That the person listens and the next time they'll do it. Why not? But at least try this, and I'm pretty sure it will work wonders for all of your relationships, in office, at home, in family, wherever. But
I think
try
that's
them.
a really, really great tip. Using I statements and sharing, and also I feel it's also about sharing how you feel, and just say that, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now, and then let the other person figure out like how they can probably not trigger that again and make you feel that way.
Correct. And also, when you say that, when you keep on like expressing that, now again a lot of people have a lot of questions, right? But I keep on saying that never changes. Then it's a sign. That you are trying to change something that might not be changed or cannot be changed.
And also sometimes it could be the things that you are expecting and you are getting triggered can be sometimes be unreasonable as well.
Yes.
And then the other partner can say, hey, you know what, I understand where you're coming from, but also I think, don't you think that's a little unreasonable? Okay, I'm okay, you know, I'm like okay in sort of making sure that this doesn't happen, but also I feel that you need to maybe, you know, be less sensitive about
Yes.
this, or maybe, you know, I mean,
Yes, yes, you are right. This is a correct perspective, because a lot of relationships, especially modern times, we see that a lot of people have their own preconceived notions that this is how it should be, and if it's not like that,
yeah,
it's bad.
yeah,
They are bad people.
yeah,
They are this, they are that, and you start labeling them. What are we doing there? We are also, there is no neutrality, no?
yeah,
There is black and white in your head. There is should and shouldn't. Are those persons should and shouldn't, like, you know, matches your should and shouldn'ts? Have you ever discussed that? Maybe not. Maybe, you know, in that same dish washing example, maybe you are thinking, you are getting more triggered because you felt like, you know, you should have a partner who takes care of the house, has feminine energy around the house. It might have been anything. That is why when we talk, you know, talk therapy is so interesting that way, that the first layer problems sometimes are just problems. They are just problems. You can like write them down, crumple that paper, throw that away. There are internal triggers of why you feel triggered. You might remember a lot of this happens, and you know, I'm giving a very generic but real life example of how women sometimes feel that they are living their lives of their mothers. You know, they are investing too much in the relationship, and you know, nobody is listening to them. That might not be their realities, but they are living the realities of their families, the conditioning of their families. Hence, it's very important to heal from other trauma that you might have felt in your life, you know, because that creeps on onto the most intimate relationship, which is your romantic relationship,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So yeah.